Today on What It's Like, 1941 Buick touring sedan. But before getting into all of it, I'm Jay. Welcome to What It's Like. Picture this, you just found a car that you'd like to know more information about. Only problem is, it's a lost and forgotten classic car that just doesn't get the coverage it deserves. This channel, we cover the classics, vintage, some exotics, lots of orphan cars, and get this is way more than walking around a car with music. Each episode, the featured car is presented in such a way, it's almost like you're looking at buying these cars for yourself. If that sounds like a channel that you would totally dig, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. If you're in the market for a 1941 Buick touring sedan, this one is currently for sale at Classic Automall, which is located in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. For those unfamiliar with Classic Automall, it's only the largest car consignment dealer in the northeastern part of the US of A, with over 800 cars for sale when recording this episode. And best of all, anyone can go there, and it doesn't cost anything to get in. For more information, pricing, and pictures about this 41 Buick, click the link below. After the show, let's talk 1941 Buick model lineup. The Special was at the bottom, followed by Super, Century, Roadmaster, Limited. Buick Special Series could be had in two wheelbase offerings, 118 inches and 121 inches, and two trims, Special and Deluxe. Buick offered the Special from 1936 to 1942, took a break because of World War II. 1946 to 1958, took another break. 1961 to 1969. Classified as a full-size car from 1936 to 1942. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. The 1941 Buick Special was designed by Duke Harley Earl and was built on the GM B-body platform along such cars as the Oldsmobile 70 Series, Pontiac Streamliner Torpedo, Cadillac Series 61. 1941 Buick could be had as a business coupe, convertible coupe, estate woody wagon, sedan net, sports coupe, sedan super, sedan net super, and touring sedan. 1941 Buick Special competed with the DeSoto Custom, Mercury 19A, Hudson Commodore. Some would even say the Nash Ambassador, even though the Nash Ambassador is about $200 cheaper. Let's talk specs. But before we do, if you totally dig this episode as well as this channel, please hit that like button so more people can see this video in the future. Let's talk specs. 208.8 inches long, 66.7 inches tall. It rides a wheelbase of 121 inches. It weighs 3,730 pounds. Price, $1,020, which is equivalent to you spending $20,678.24 in the year 2023. Total 1941 Buick production was 374,000 units. Total Special was 238,618 units. Total touring sedan, both in the Special and the Deluxe trim, was 105,130 units. Moving on to engines. Only one engine on offer for the Special, and it was Special. 248 cubic inch displacement. Before getting into all the specs, let's talk Fireball 8. Buick offered this overhead valve 8 from 1931 to 1953. It started out life with a displacement of 220.7 cubic inch displacement, which was 3.6 liters. For those that don't know, this is crazy because Chevy offered a 216.6, which this was just a wee bit bigger than that. Ending displacement with 344.7 cubic inch displacement or 5.6 liters in 1953. It's important to note that this engine came in two different block sizes, a small block and a big block. The bigger blocks were used for the larger chassis models such as the Roadmaster and Limited. Important side note, these engines before 1937 used machine cast in-place bearings, so when they went bad, it was extremely expensive to fix it because more than often you would have to get a whole different block. 1937, Buick started using drop-in bearings. 248 cubic inch displacement. Inline, straight 8, overhead valve, 4.1 liters. It makes 115 horsepower, 3,500 RPM, 210 foot-pound of torque at 2,000 RPM. With a bore of 3.1 inches and a stroke of 4.1 inches, compression is 6:15:1. 5 main bearings, and it is mated to a 3-speed select shift sliding gear transmission. Let's talk styling. Check out all of this. Look at how this comes back to a point here and then gets larger as it comes down to the headlight. Beautiful grille section. I love the way that these fenders are shaped. And notice there's a lot of different lines going on here. Bubbles up here, comes down into a valley here, comes up to the nose region here. Also check out these lines. We'll go over here. So look at how this line comes off of the windshield base and then comes down to the nose. Nice bright work coming back. I love this textured effect here. This one only has a mirror on the one side, which was typical for cars around this time period. Check out the antenna situation. It's right here. Check out how this fender comes back. Look how it sticks out here and it comes back in. How the sides come down. That's a really interesting part right here. Gravel guards. Gas filler cap is on the left hand side, which is the right side in my opinion, because then you don't have to go to the other side to get gas. Look at the drip rail situation. Notice how this rear design comes back. It looks very Hudson Hornet in a way. Tail light situation. Look, you got 2 spare tires in the back. That's how big the trunk is. It doesn't need 1 spare tire. It has 2 spare tires. Here is what the door panel looks like. Notice the door is all framed out. Here's my fingers for reference of how deep that is. It's got nice padded door panels, armrest, as well as door handle to pull the door shut, door handle to get out, window crank for the vent window, and just got to make sure that it's unlatched here, and then you can open it. This is the window crank for the big window, and it operates like that. That's what it looks like. Coming down inside the pedal box down here, hand brake, high beam switch, clutch, brake, gas pedal. Take a look at this interior. So that's what the door sounds like closing. Here's what over the hood impression looks like. Here's what first person looks like. I absolutely love this steering wheel design, as well as the gauges. I absolutely love the gauges. On to the button switches and knobs, starting on the left and moving right. 3 pods sit directly in front of the driver. In the very first pod on the left-hand side, amp meter at the top, water temperature at the bottom, left turn signal indicator, speedometer in the center. Notice 100 miles an hour, 120 and are flipped so that you can read it. Odometer at the top center, tripometer bottom center, gas gauge, oil pressure, right turn signal indicator, instrument panel lights, accessory, headlights, map lights, radio, lighter, defroster, accessory, heater, clock, which is on the glove box door, ignition, ashtray at the bottom of the dash. Up above, nice sun visor over there as well as over there. This is for the antenna. That puts the antenna up and adjusts it. Here is the rear view mirror situation. And you sit down low in this car. Like, my eyesight is pretty much level with where this part is on the dashboard. I have to sit up a little bit. It's a big car. You sit down low, like I said. Here is the under the steering wheel situation. Lots of space underneath the steering wheel. I wear size 34 pants, so if you're roughly about the same size as me, you'll fit in this car. No issues whatsoever. Here's what my head situation looks like. I have absolutely as much head space as I'd ever want. Passenger side ashtray. On to the glove box test. Here's our test subject. Here's my hand for reference. Here's the glove box in question. Oh man, look at how big that is. Fits in there no problem at all. So coming to the rear door, getting inside. It's a lot like the front door, only it does not have a armrest here. It's door handle to get out. This is the window crank for the big window. It operates like that. Just notice that the window goes all the way down. Here's what the rear seat looks like. Nice quality sound there. This is what the back to front view looks like. Just take a look at the greenhouse real quick. That's what the rear visibility looks like. There's a massive rear shelf back there. These seats are really comfortable, but they are really upright. Also look at the rear seat cushion. It dips down back here. Nice armrest. This is for a lap blanket. This is a rope to hold it on. An ashtray, as well as here's the cigarette lighter. It's a weird looking cigarette lighter. A nice armrest here. Grab handle to hold on to. There isn't a grab handle to hold on to on the other side though. That's kind of weird. But lots of room, knee space. And the floor. Look at the floor. It's relatively flat. There's a really small hump here, but that's about it. This is what I look like sitting in the back seat. Tons of headroom. I get it. You're supposed to wear a hat in this day and age. There's lots of room to do that. There is a dome light here. Okay, so getting under the hood. Let's look for a hood thing. So this hood opens up very interesting. You can open it up on either side, but you get into it here. So that's how you get to it. And there's a safety right here, and it lifts up like that. So how cool is that? There's Buick's in-valve head Fireball Dynaflash 8. This is a straight 8, but it's overhead valves. I'm really intrigued of how smooth is this straight 8. I've only heard stories. I think this is the only overhead straight 8 in the industry. In the comment section below if that's correct. We'll open it from the other side. So coming to the other side, same thing. And then you push this in, and then you pick up on it. It's super heavy, the hood is. That's what this side looks like. It's also important to note that I guess if you pulled both sides out, you probably could just take the whole hood off. So that's a really interesting feature. International Trucks did the same thing. So this got dual horns. Look at that battery. Generator. Okay. Super heavy hood. The cool thing is it shuts itself because it's so heavy. And then you just put this back and that locks it down in place so it doesn't move. On to the pros and cons. We generally get all of the pros and cons from the complete book of collectible cars, but this car isn't in there, unfortunately. So the pros and cons are coming for my personal observations. On the positive side, Hood can be opened on either side or removed entirely really easily, but you just need 2 or 3 people to do so because the hood is extremely heavy. Also, won't have to worry about hood springs because it doesn't have any. Easy to read, gorgeous instrumentation, loads of space all over. It doesn't matter if you're in the front or the back. Overhead valve, straight 8. On the cons, possible fuel consumption. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to give me both the correct name of the band as well as song title, both correctly, first person to do so will have their comment pinned to the top of the comment section. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below. I read and answer all comments posted. Second way is we have a Facebook group that correlates with this YouTube channel. The link will be in the description if you're interested. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, shoot me a message on Facebook. So if I catch you on here or on Facebook, just know I appreciate everything. And until next time, but wait a second. Here's some previews for our next episode. 1941 Diamond T 306 tanker truck. This was the Cadillac of the trucks, and I'm super stoked to share this. And until next time, toodaloo!